My beloved child, I have heard the heavy sigh you released when you thought no one was listening, and I have seen the way your heart tightens every time you glance at the calendar. I am here with you now, sitting beside you in the quiet space of your worry, and I want you to take a deep, slow breath. The weight you are carrying, the fear of how the rent will be paid, the uncertainty of where the next provision will come from, is not a weight you were ever meant to carry alone. I am the architect of the heavens and the earth, the one who calls the stars by name and ensures that the lilies of the field are clothed in more splendor than kings, and you are far more precious to me than they. I know the exact amount you owe. I know the name of your landlord, the state of your bank account, and the silent panic that rises in your throat when you think about the deadline. But I also know the infinite storehouses of my grace. You see a wall, I see a way through. You see a closed door, I have already prepared the key. Do not let your heart be troubled, for I am the source of all that is, and my timing is never a second too late. Think for a moment of how I have sustained you until this very hour. There were times in the past when you thought the end had come, when you were certain that there was no way out, yet here you are. I have carried you then, and I will carry you now. This financial storm is not meant to drown you. It is an invitation to witness the miraculous way I can move mountains on your behalf. I am orchestrating a series of events, even in this moment, that you cannot yet see. People you have not met, opportunities you have not imagined, and blessings you have not dared to ask for are being aligned for your sake. I do not want you to spend another night pacing the floor or staring at the ceiling in the dark. Give me your fear. Hand me the bill that haunts your thoughts. I want you to trade your anxiety for my peace, which surpasses all human understanding. When you feel the urge to worry, speak my name instead. Remind your soul that your Father is the King of the universe. Scarcity is an illusion of the physical world, but abundance is the law of my kingdom. You are a child of the King, and I do not abandon my own. I am working in the invisible realms to bring forth a solution that will leave you in awe of my love. You might wonder how or when or through whom the miracle will come, but I ask you to release the how to me. Your task is to trust, my task is to provide. I am opening windows in heaven that the world cannot shut. I am speaking to hearts on your behalf. I am clearing the path that currently looks blocked by thorns. Rest your weary head, my child. Let the tension leave your shoulders. You are protected. You are sheltered by the shadow of my wings. Your home is not just a building of wood and stone. It is a place where I have stationed my angels to guard you. The provision is already on its way, traveling toward you with the speed of my intent. Believe that you have received it, and you shall see it manifest in your reality. I love you with an everlasting love, and I will never leave you nor forsake you in your hour of need. Peace, be still. Take a deep breath now, letting the silence that follows those words settle into the marrow of your bones. I see you, sitting there with the weight of the world pressing against your chest, the calculator on your phone still open, the red numbers blurred by the exhaustion in your eyes. I know the exact moment your heart skips a beat when the mail arrives. I see the way you avoid looking at the calendar, as if ignoring the date could slow the approach of the first of the month. But I am the architect of time, and I tell you, do not fear the ticking of the clock. It is not a countdown to your demise. It is a rhythm leading you toward my intervention. Think back to the times you felt you were at the very edge of a precipice, only to find that the ground beneath you held firm. Remember the unexpected phone call, the refund check that appeared just when the balance hit zero, the kindness of a friend that bridged the gap you thought was uncrossable. Those were not coincidences. They were my fingerprints upon your life. I am the same God who provided then, and I have not grown weary or poor. My resources are not limited by the economy of man or the fluctuations of the market. I own the cattle on 1,000 hills, and the gold and silver are mine. If I can sustain the sparrow that does not sow or reap, how much more will I sustain you, my beloved child? I see the shame that tries to wrap itself around you because you are struggling. Cast it off. It is a garment that does not belong to you. Your worth is not measured by the digits in a bank account or your ability to keep up with the demands of a world that values production over presence. You are precious to me simply because you are mine. I am looking at the landlord, the property manager, and the bank officials right now. Their hearts are in my hand, and I turn them like channels of water wherever I please. I can plant a seed of compassion where there was only rigidity. I can cause them to offer extensions, to waive fees, or to provide solutions you haven't even dared to imagine. You see a brick wall, I see a doorway. You see a no, but I am preparing a yes that will carry you through this season. When the sun goes down tonight, I want you to walk through each room of your home. Touch the walls. Instead of seeing them as a burden of debt, see them as the boundaries of your sanctuary. Proclaim my peace over the kitchen where you nourish your body, over the bed where you seek rest, and over the threshold where you go out and come in. This space is consecrated to me. I have placed a hedge of protection around it that no eviction notice can penetrate without my permission, and I am your defender. Why do you worry about where you will lay your head? I am your dwelling place. I am your shelter in the storm. I want you to release the physical manifestation of this stress. Soften your jaw. Let your hands relax from the fists they have become. You have been trying to white-knuckle your way through a situation that requires a surrendered heart. Let go of the steering wheel. I am navigating this ship, and I have never lost a soul to the waves. Even now, while you are reading these words, I am moving people you have never met to act in your favor. I am aligning circumstances in the invisible realm, shifting paperwork, highlighting your name in a database, prompting a distant relative to reach out. The how is my specialty. Your part is simply to remain in me. Do not let the thief of anxiety steal the joy of today. Today has enough grace for its own needs. Do not borrow the shadows of tomorrow. They are empty and powerless against the light of my presence. I am your shepherd. You shall not want. I lead you beside still waters, not because the world is quiet, but because my peace is louder than the noise of your creditors. Listen to the beating of your heart. It is a drumbeat of life, a constant reminder that I am sustaining you second by second. If I can keep the planets in their orbits and command the tide to stop at the shore, I can certainly manage a rent payment. I am the God of the breakthrough. I am the God of the 11th hour. I often wait until the human options have exhausted themselves so that, when the miracle arrives, you will know without a doubt that it was me. This is a season of building your faith muscles. It feels like strain, but it is actually growth. You are learning to trust the invisible over the visible. You are learning that my word is more solid than a bank statement. Stay close to me in the secret place. Pour out your heart, yes, but then stay long enough to hear my whisper of reassurance. I am not a distant king. I am a father who keeps his children tucked safely under his cloak. The provision is not just coming. In the spiritual realm, it is already done. It is merely traveling through the density of this world to reach your hands. Keep your eyes on me, not on the waves. Walk on the water of my promise, and you will find that the surface is as firm as granite. I love you with a depth that exceeds the oceans. You are never alone. You are never forgotten. You are never without a source. Rest now. Truly rest. Do you feel the shift in the atmosphere when you finally let go? It is the weight of the world sliding off your shoulders and onto mine, where it was always meant to rest. You have spent so many nights tracing the patterns on the ceiling, calculating numbers that never seem to add up, and wondering if the ground beneath you is as stable as you once thought. I want you to look at your hands again. The hands that have worked, the hands that have prayed, the hands that are currently clenched in a tight knot of anxiety. Release them. Open your palms toward the heavens. This posture of surrender is the most powerful position a human can take. It is the position of a receiver. You cannot receive a gift if your fists are tightly closed around your problems. I see the quiet desperation that comes when you look at the calendar and see the days slipping away like sand through an hourglass. I see the way your heart skips a beat when the phone rings or when a notification pings, fearing it is another demand you cannot meet. But I am the commander of time, and I am the author of every season. The same hands that carved the canyons and painted the stripes on the tiger are currently holding the keys to your provision. Think of the lilies, my child. They do not toil, they do not spin, and yet I have dressed them in a splendor that makes the greatest earthly empires look dull. If I care so deeply for a flower that blooms today and is gone tomorrow, how much more do I care for you, my image bearer? You are not a line item in a ledger. You are a living, breathing soul that I have redeemed with a price far higher than any currency of earth. Your worth is not determined by your credit score or the amount of digits in your bank account. Your worth was settled on a hill long ago, and it remains infinite. I am not a landlord who looks for reasons to turn you out. I am the provider who looks for reasons to bring you in. Even now, I am speaking to people you haven't met yet. I am opening the storehouses of heaven to release what you need at the precise moment you need it. You may feel like you are at the edge of a cliff, but I am the wind that will catch you. I want to talk to you about the shame you feel, the heavy, gray cloud that tells you that if you were better, smarter, or more faithful, you wouldn't be in this position. That voice is not mine. That is the voice of the accuser who wants to distract you from my love. There is no shame in needing your father. There is no failure in being human. Even the earth goes through seasons of winter where everything looks dead and barren, but beneath the frozen surface, life is preparing for a riotous spring. You are in a hidden season. You are in a period of preparation. I am refining your character so that when the abundance comes, and it will come, it will not destroy you, but will be a tool in your hands to bless others. I am teaching you the secret of the manna. In the desert, my people had to trust me for their daily bread. They couldn't store it up. They had to look to the sky every single morning. This felt like insecurity to them, but it was actually the highest form of security, for it kept them in constant contact with their source. I am keeping you close. I am making sure that our connection is vibrant and vital. When you finally see the miracle manifest, you won't just thank me for the money. You will thank me for the intimacy we found in the dark. You will realize that the rent payment was just a backdrop for a much deeper encounter with my faithfulness. I see the specific corners of your home where you have wept. I see the chair where you sit and stare out the window, wondering how the world keeps turning while you feel stuck. I am in that room with you. I am the warmth in the air, the strength in your spine, and the hope that refuses to die. I am orchestrating a symphony of grace behind the scenes. Doors that were locked are being unbolted. Hearts that were cold are being warmed toward your cause. You are not fighting this battle alone. I have dispatched legions of angels to stand guard over your peace. They are patrolling the perimeter of your mind, casting out the spirits of fear and lack. Listen to the silence after the storm of your thoughts. In that silence I am speaking. I am saying, I have you. I am saying, it is handled. I am saying, look up. The stars do not struggle to shine. They simply inhabit the light I gave them. You do not have to struggle to survive. You simply have to inhabit the life I have breathed into you. I am stretching your capacity to receive. I am enlarging the territory of your soul. This moment of pressure is the very thing that is producing the diamond of your testimony. Do not despise the day of small beginnings, and do not fear the day of apparent endings. With me, every ending is merely a doorway to a new beginning. I am the God of the breakthrough, and I am breaking through the clouds of your worry right now. Feel the light of my favor beginning to dawn. It starts as a tiny glimmer, a small hope, a strange peace that makes no sense given your circumstances. Nurture that peace. Guard it like a precious flame. It is the evidence of things not seen, the substance of things hoped for. You are moving from a place of how to a place of who. You no longer have to ask how it will happen, because you know who is making it happen. I am the great I Am. I am everything you need in the moment you need it. You need a provider, I am Jair. If you need peace, I am Shalom. If you need a banner of victory, I am Nissi. I am folding you into my protection, covering you with my feathers. Under my wings you will find refuge. The shadows of the world may grow long, but they cannot extinguish the light of my promise. Keep walking. Keep trusting. Keep breathing. Every breath is a gift from me, and I do not give gifts in vain. I have a purpose for your life that far exceeds the four walls of your current dwelling. I am building a mansion for you in eternity, but I am also concerned with the roof over your head today. Nothing is too small for my attention, and nothing is too large for my power. I am the God of the big and the small, the infinite and the intimate. Rest your head on the pillow of my promises tonight. Let the rhythm of my heart quiet the pounding of yours. Tomorrow is already in my hands, and I have already seen the provision that is waiting for you there. It is as sure as the sunrise. It is as steady as the tides. You are safe. You are provided for. You are my beloved child, and I take great delight in you. Sleep now, knowing that the one who watches over you neither slumbers nor sleeps. I am awake so you don't have to be. I am working so you can rest. I am your father, and I have everything under control. I see you sitting there at the kitchen table, the one where the wood grain is worn smooth in the spot where you rest your elbows. I see the stack of envelopes, the white and blue notices that seem to pulsate with a weight far heavier than paper. I was there when you opened the banking app, your thumb hovering with a slight tremor before you dared to tap the screen, only to see the numbers that didn't match the needs. I felt the sharp intake of breath, the cold knot of anxiety that tightened in the pit of your stomach as you began to do the math, the impossible math that ends in a deficit. My child, do you think I am blind to the ledger of your life? I am the great mathematician of the soul, and I tell you now, my arithmetic is not bound by your subtractions. When you see a zero, I see a canvas for a miracle. When you see a deadline, I see a doorway to a new revelation of my faithfulness. Do you remember the widow whose jars of oil did not run dry until the debt was paid and her children were safe? She did not have a secret storehouse. She had a command and a vessel. I am giving you the command to trust, and I am asking you to be the vessel. You are worried about the signature on a check, but I am the one who signs the decree of your destiny. I know the name of your landlord, the temperament of your property manager, and the exact terms of the contract you signed. I also know that I have a contract with you, written in the blood of my son, which guarantees that you are an heir to everything I possess. This pressure you feel is not the hand of an enemy trying to crush you. It is the pressure of the womb before the birth of something new. I am stretching your faith so that it can hold the abundance I am preparing for you. Think of the lilies. They do not toil, they do not spin, and yet I clothe them in a majesty that would make kings weep with envy. If I care for the grass of the field, which is here today and gone tomorrow, how much more do I care for the one I called into existence before the foundation of the world? I saw this day before your ancestors were born. I saw this specific dollar amount before the currency was even minted. You are not a victim of a failing economy. You are a citizen of an unshakable kingdom. Take a deep breath, slowly now. Feel the air fill your lungs. That breath is a miracle. The heart beating in your chest, rhythmic and steady, is a miracle I am sustaining second by second. If I can be trusted to keep your heart beating without you even asking, can I not be trusted to provide the roof that covers it? I am working in the hearts of people you haven't met. I am moving in offices and through emails that are yet to be sent. I am orchestrating a sequence of coincidences that will culminate in your relief. I want you to look at those bills not as a sentence of doom, but as an invitation to see me move. I want you to say to that stack of papers, "You are small compared to my God." I want you to walk through your rooms and thank me for them as if the next month is already paid for, because in the halls of heaven, the provision is already released. It is traveling to you even now, moving through the channels I have carved in the desert. Do not let the thief of worry steal the joy of today. Today has enough beauty if you look for it. Look at the way the light hits the floorboards. Listen to the quietness of the space I have provided for you thus far. I have never failed you. Look back at the mountains we have climbed together. Look back at the valleys where you thought you would perish, yet here you are, still standing, still breathing, still mine. This current mountain is no different. It may look steeper, the crags may look sharper, but I am the one who gives you the feet of a deer to tread upon high places. I am not a God who provides barely enough. I am the God of the more than enough. I am the God of the 12 baskets of leftovers. I am refining your eyes to see provision in places you previously ignored. Perhaps it is not just a check. Perhaps it is a new opportunity, an unexpected gift, a debt forgiven, or a creative idea that I will drop into your spirit in the quiet hours of the morning. Stay sensitive to my whisper. When I tell you to go here or call there, do not hesitate. My provision often travels on the wings of your obedience. We are in this together. You are not a tenant in a lonely apartment. You are a guest in my world, and I am a host who takes pride in the comfort of his children. Let the tension leave your shoulders. Unclench your jaw. I am speaking peace over your home right now. I am walking through every room, sanctifying the space and reminding the walls that they are under my protection. You are safe. You are held. The morning is coming, and with it, a mercy that is brand new, perfectly fitted for the needs of your day. Trust the process of the waiting, for in the waiting, your roots are growing deeper into the well of my grace. You are becoming a person who cannot be shaken by a bank statement because you are anchored in the eternal. Rest now, my beloved. Rest in the certainty that I am already in your tomorrow, arranging everything for your good and my glory. I see the way your eyes linger on the stack of mail by the door, and I feel the weight that settles in your chest every time a notification pings on your phone. You have been carrying the burden of these numbers as if they were the final word on your existence, but I am the author of the story, and I have not yet dipped my pen into the ink of your deliverance. Look around the room where you sit. Notice the way the shadows stretch across the floorboards, and how the light catches the dust motes dancing in the air. I created every atom of that wood, every fiber of the rug beneath your feet. Do you truly believe I would lead you to this place only to abandon you to the cold? I am not a landlord who demands. I am a father who provides. I know the exact name of the person who processes your payments, and I know the heart of the one who holds the deed to your dwelling. Even now, I am moving in the invisible realms, nudging thoughts, softening hearts, and rearranging priorities in offices you will never visit. You see a bill. I see an opportunity for my glory to be revealed in the mundane. Do you remember the time you thought you wouldn't make it through that previous storm? You sat on the edge of your bed, head in your hands, wondering how the math would ever add up. And yet, here you are. You breathed through it because I was the air in your lungs. I provided a way that was hidden until the very moment you needed to step upon it. This moment is no different, though the numbers may be larger and the silence of the night feels heavier. I want you to take that ledger of yours, the one you keep in your mind, the one where you constantly subtract what you have from what you owe, and I want you to hand it to me. Stop trying to solve the equation with a limited set of variables. Your variables are salary, savings, and debt. My variables are infinite, sovereign, and timeless. When you look at the flickering lamp on your desk, remember that I am the source of all energy. When you hear the hum of the refrigerator, remember that I am the one who fills the storehouses of the earth. I want to talk to you about the manna principle. My people in the desert wanted a warehouse, but I gave them a daily portion. Why? Because a warehouse breeds independence, but a daily portion breeds intimacy. I am using this season of uncertainty to pull you closer to my side, until you can feel the rhythm of my heart beating for you. You have been so focused on the roof over your head that you have forgotten that you are covered by the shadow of my wings. That covering is more durable than shingles and more secure than any lease agreement. I am teaching you the secret of the lilies. They do not toil, they do not spin, and yet they are clothed in a majesty that outshines kings. Are you not much more valuable to me than a flower that blooms for a day? I have written your name on the palms of my hands. Do you think I have forgotten the address where you live? There is a specific miracle I am preparing for you, one that carries the scent of grace. It might arrive through a phone call that starts with an apology, or a letter that informs you of a clerical error in your favor. It might be a sudden surge of productivity that opens a door to a new stream of income, or a neighbor who feels a sudden, inexplicable urge to share a blessing. I am the God of the suddenlies. But while you wait for the suddenly, I want you to find joy in the already. You already have my presence. You already have my promise. You already have a seat at my table. I want you to go to your kitchen and pour a glass of water. As you drink it, feel it cool your throat and realize that I am the living water. If I can sustain your very life, I can certainly sustain the place where you lay your head. The walls of your home have heard your sighs and your whispered prayers in the dark. They have seen your tears fall onto the pillow. I have bottled every one of those tears, and I am turning them into the rain that will water the seeds of your breakthrough. You are worried about a move-out date, but I am preparing a move-in for my spirit to dwell in your heart more fully. This tension you feel is not the sound of things falling apart. It is the sound of the old structures of self-reliance cracking, so that my strength can pour through. Do not look at the calendar with dread. Each passing day is not a step closer to failure, but a step closer to the manifestation of my faithfulness. I want you to practice a new kind of stewardship. Steward your peace as if it were the most valuable currency you own. When the spirit of heaviness tries to drape itself over your shoulders, shake it off with a song of praise. Praise is the key that fits the locks of heaven. Even if the song is a whisper, even if it is a cracked melody through a parched throat, it resonates in the halls of eternity. I am watching over your bank account, yes, but more importantly, I am watching over your soul. I will not let you be put to shame. I will not let the enemy mock my child. Your testimony is being forged in this fire, and it will be a story of a God who showed up when the clock hit the final second. I am never late, though I often seem to bypass the human schedule. I am teaching you to walk on water, and that requires you to take your eyes off the depth of the waves and fix them on the one who stands upon them. Rest your mind. Let the frantic thoughts settle like silt at the bottom of a clear lake. In the stillness, you will hear me more clearly. I have much to tell you about your future, and none of it involves you being cast out or forgotten. I am your dwelling place. In me, you are always home. We will walk through the coming days hand in hand. When you open your eyes tomorrow, do not reach for your phone first to check the balance. Reach for my hand. Let my peace be the first thing you deposit into your spirit. The world may shake, and economies may falter, but the kingdom I am inviting you into has no deficit, no inflation, and no evictions. You are my heir, and all that I have is yours. We are just getting started on this journey of trust. There is so much more I want to show you about how I provide, and it begins with you letting go of the edge of the boat and trusting that the water will hold you because I am there. Yeah. Look at your hands right now. They may be trembling slightly, or perhaps they are clenched into tight fists as you try to hold onto a sense of control that feels like sand slipping through your fingers. Release that grip. I want you to feel the air moving in and out of your lungs. A gift I give you every second without a bill or a balance due. You are worried about the walls that surround you and the roof that shields you from the rain, but I am the one who holds the very atoms of those walls together. Do you think I would sustain the universe and yet forget the shelter of my own child? I see that stack of mail on your kitchen table, the one you have been avoiding because the envelopes feel heavy with the weight of expectations you cannot meet. I see the red ink on the notices that seems to scream louder than my whispers. To the world, those papers are a debt. To me, they are the canvas upon which I am about to paint a masterpiece of my faithfulness. I am already moving in the hearts of people you have not yet met. I am nudging the mind of a clerk in a distant office. I am stirring the spirit of a stranger who will become a vessel of my grace, and I am aligning circumstances that seem like mere coincidences to you, but are the deliberate brushstrokes of my providence. Your landlord may own the deed to the building, but I own the earth upon which it stands. The bank may hold the mortgage, but I hold the keys to every storehouse in existence. Do not let the insufficient funds notice define your worth or your future. Your value is not tied to your credit score. It is anchored in the blood of my Son. I remember the times you have sat in the dark, calculating and recalculating numbers that never seem to add up. I have watched you skip a meal or choose the cheapest option just to save a few coins, and my heart yearns to remind you that I am the God of more than enough. You are operating out of a mindset of scarcity, but I am inviting you into a reality of abundance. This does not mean you will always have a surplus in your vault, but it means you will always have exactly what you need when the moment of need arrives. Think of the manna in the desert. It did not fall for a month at a time. It fell daily. I am teaching you the beauty of the daily walk. I want you to stop looking at next month and start looking at my face today. When you hear the refrigerator hum in your quiet kitchen, let it be a reminder that I am the great provider who keeps your world turning even when you are asleep. When you walk across your floorboards and hear them creak, remember that I am the rock beneath your feet that never shifts. The enemy wants you to feel small, exposed, and vulnerable to the whims of an economy that does not know your name. But I know your name. I have engraved it on the palms of my hands. You are not a number in a system. You are a prince or a princess in a kingdom that knows no recession. I am even now whispering your name into the ears of those who have the power to help, and I am closing the mouths of those who would seek to cause you harm. This fear you feel is a shadow, and shadows have no substance when the light of the world stands in the room. I want you to go to your window and look out at the sky. Whether it is blue or gray, it is my sky. Whether the birds are chirping or the wind is howling, it is my creation, and you are the crown of that creation. If I clothe the grass of the field, which is here today and gone tomorrow, will I not much more clothe and house you? Your anxiety is a thief. It steals the peace I have already deposited into your spirit. Do not let it rob you of another night's sleep. I am the Lord of the Sabbath, and I am giving you permission to rest. Let the final notices be transformed into final victories in your mind. I am the God of the 11th hour, the God of the Red Sea crossing when the chariots were closing in, the God of the widow's oil that never ran dry. Your situation is not a surprise to me. It is not a crisis in heaven. It is simply the stage for a testimony that will encourage others for years to come. You will tell the story of how you were at the edge, how the math failed, how the doors seemed to shut, and then how I stepped in. I am deepening the roots of your trust right now. These winds of financial pressure are not meant to blow you over. They are meant to make your spiritual foundations grow deeper and stronger. You are learning that your security is not in a paycheck or a lease agreement, but in the unchanging character of your Father. We are walking through this room by room, day by day. I am with you in the living room where you pace, I am with you in the bedroom where you pray, and I am with you at the bank where you feel the weight of the world. My presence is your true home. As long as you are with me, you are never homeless. As long as you are with me, you are never without. Breathe in my peace and breathe out the panic. I have already seen the end of this month, and I am already there, waiting for you with the solution in my hand. We are not finished talking about this, for I have so much more to reveal about the riches of my glory that are available to you even now, in the midst of the struggle. Do you see that white envelope sitting on the edge of your counter? To the world, it is an ultimatum, a deadline etched in ink. But to me, it is a canvas upon which I will paint my faithfulness. I see you looking at it when you walk into the kitchen to pour a glass of water, the way your stomach tightens and your heart quickens its pace. I see the way you try to avoid looking at the bank app on your phone, as if by ignoring the numbers you can pause the ticking clock. My child, I am not offended by your fear, but I am here to invite you into a higher perspective. Every time you pick up that calculator and try to make 2 plus 2 equal the amount you owe, and every time the math fails to reach the summit, I am standing there, ready to show you that my arithmetic is not bound by your balance sheet. I want you to sit down at that table right now. Clear away the clutter of the mail and the receipts. Can you feel the wood beneath your hands? I created the trees that provided that wood. I orchestrated the rain and the sun that allowed them to grow. If I can care for the forest for centuries, do you truly believe I have forgotten the roof over your head? You are far more precious to me than the cedars of Lebanon. When you feel the weight of that rent payment like a stone in your chest, remember that I am the one who rolled the stone away from the tomb. No barrier is too heavy for my hand to move. I am even now speaking to hearts you haven't met. I am moving in offices and through systems that seem cold and indifferent to you. You see a landlord or a management company. I see souls that are subject to my sovereign will. I can turn the heart of a stranger like a stream of water. I can create a delay where there was a deadline, and I can provide a surplus where there was a deficit. Think back to the times you thought you wouldn't make it before. Remember the unexpected check in the mail, the friend who called out of the blue, the side job that appeared just as the bill was due. These were not coincidences. They were the fingerprints of my grace. Why do you think this time is any different? Is my arm shortened that it cannot save? Is my storehouse empty? I own the cattle on 1,000 hills, and the hills themselves are mine. The very gold and silver that the world fights over is merely the dust beneath my feet. Your need is small compared to my supply, but your peace is of great value to me. I want to heal the trauma of not enough that has plagued your lineage. I am breaking the cycle of lack that has whispered lies to your parents and their parents before them. I am teaching you to be a child of the kingdom, where the currency is faith and the dividends are peace. Look out your window at the birds that gather on the ledge or in the trees. They do not sow, they do not reap, they do not store away in barns, yet I feed them every single day. They do not wake up wondering if the branch will hold them or if the seeds will be found. They sing before they have eaten because they trust the rhythm of my creation. I am asking you to sing in the silence of your lack. I am asking you to thank me for the provision that is already on its way, even while the account still shows a zero. This is the mystery of the walk of faith. It is not about seeing the bridge before you step out. It is about knowing the architect of the bridge is holding your hand. When the midnight hour comes and the house is quiet, and the thoughts start to swarm like shadows, speak my name. Not as a frantic plea, but as a declaration of ownership. I am your dwelling place. You have survived every storm thus far because I was the anchor that held when the rope of your own strength frayed. I'm not just going to help you pay this rent. I am going to use this moment to kill the spirit of poverty that tries to claim your identity. You are not the one who struggles. You are the one who is sustained. Feel the tension leaving your shoulders as you breathe. Let the oxygen I provide remind you that I am currently giving you the very breath you need to worry. Instead, use it to worship. There is a shift coming. It may not look like a sudden windfall from the sky, though I can do that too. It may look like a peace that makes no sense, a clarity of mind to see an opportunity you missed, or a favor that opens a door that was previously locked. I am working in the meantime. I am working in the gap between the prayer and the manifestation. I am fine-tuning your ears to hear my whisper over the roar of the world's demands. Do not let the shame of this struggle dim your light. There is no shame in needing your father. The shame belongs to the enemy who wants you to feel like a failure for being human. You are not a failure, you are a student in the school of my providence. And I am a teacher who never loses a student. Stay here with me in this moment. Do not run ahead to next week or next month. I am the I am, not the I will be. I am in the present, and in the present you have enough breath. You have my presence, and you have the promise that I will never leave you nor forsake you. We are going to walk toward that deadline together, and you will see that what looked like a wall was actually a gate. Look at your hands. They are trembling as you scroll through those numbers again, as if staring at the screen could somehow force the digits to change by the sheer power of your will. I see the way you tuck your hair behind your ear, the way you sigh so deeply that it feels like your soul is trying to escape the pressure of your chest. You have been carrying the weight of the roof over your head as if you were the one holding the beams in place. But I am the architect, and I am the foundation. Do you remember the small miracles you've already forgotten? The way the gas tank lasted just a mile longer than it should have. The way a friend called at the exact moment you felt the darkness closing in. These were not coincidences. They were my fingerprints on the glass of your life. Every time you look at that balance and feel the pit in your stomach, I want you to visualize me sitting across from you. I am not looking at the balance, I am looking at you. To me, the sum you owe is a grain of sand on a vast beach. To you, it is a boulder. I'm not asking you to ignore the boulder, but I am asking you to stop trying to lift it alone. Your muscles were never designed for this kind of weight. When I said my yoke is easy and my burden is light, I was talking about this very moment, the moment where your strength ends and my grace begins. Think of the lilies of the field, which I clothe in splendor without them ever threading a needle. Think of the sparrow, who wakes up without a storehouse or a barn, yet never wonders if the sun will rise or if the earth will provide a seed. You are worth more than 10,000 sparrows. You are the crown of my creation, and I did not bring you this far to abandon you in the wilderness of a late payment. There is a specific piece I am weaving into the fabric of your home right now. It is a piece that starts in the center of your chest and radiates outward, silencing the loud, clanging bells of anxiety. I am silencing the voice that tells you that you are one mistake away from ruin. That voice is a liar. It has always been a liar. You are held, you are anchored. Even now, in the unseen realm, I am moving hearts you haven't met yet. I am aligning circumstances that seem unrelated to your needs, weaving them into a tapestry of provision that will leave you breathless with gratitude. Do not focus on the how. The how is my jurisdiction. Your jurisdiction is here. Your jurisdiction is now. Stay in the present with me. Can you feel the rhythm of your heart? I am the one keeping that beat. If I can sustain the complex machinery of your life, the millions of cells working in harmony to keep you upright, do you not think I can handle a piece of paper? Do you not think I can move a mountain of debt with a single breath? I want you to take a moment and physically release the grip you have on your phone or the edge of the table. Let your palms face upward. This is the posture of a child receiving a gift, not a worker demanding a wage. You have worked hard, yes. You have been responsible, yes. But your security does not come from your effort, it comes from my essence. I am the source. The job is a channel. The bank is a channel, but I am the river. If one channel dries up, I simply carve another through the rock. The water will always reach you because the water is mine. I am watching the clock with you, but I am not worried about the seconds ticking away. I exist outside of time, and I am already standing in your after. I am already standing in the moment where you look back and say, I don't know how he did it, but he did. I am the God of the 11:39th hour. I love to show my power when the human options have been exhausted, not to mock you, but to set you free from the illusion that you are the source of your own life. This struggle is breaking the chains of self-reliance that have kept you exhausted for years. I am teaching you a new way to walk, a way that relies on the wind of my spirit rather than the straining of your own oars. Look around your room. See the light catching the dust motes in the air. See the life in the plants on the windowsill. Everything you see is being sustained by my thought. If I were to stop thinking of the universe for a single second, it would cease to be. But I never stop thinking of you. You are etched onto the palms of my hands. Your name is a melody I hum over the foundations of the world. So when the fear tries to rise up and tell you that you will be cold, or that you will be homeless, or that you will be shamed, answer it with the truth of my presence. Tell the fear that you are a guest in my house, and I am a host who never lets his guests go hungry. I am preparing a table for you right in the middle of this desert, right in the presence of those mounting bills and those whispering doubts. And your cup will not just be full, it will overflow. It has to, because that is the only way I know how to give. I don't give in drops, I give in floods. But first, I am preparing your heart to hold the flood without drowning. I am strengthening your character so that when the abundance comes, it doesn't destroy you. I am making you into a person who can handle wealth because you no longer worship it. You are learning that I am your true treasure. And once you know that, the rent is just a detail. It is a small thing, a very small thing. So breathe again, deeper this time. Let the air fill the bottom of your lungs. I am here, I am here, I am here. We are not finished with this lesson yet, but you are passing the test. You are choosing to trust me in the dark, and that trust is more precious to me than gold. Keep your eyes on me, not the waves. The waves are high, but I am the one who told the sea where to stop. And I am telling your fear, this far and no further. Rest your mind now, even for a moment. Let me carry the ledger. I see the way your fingers trace the grain of the wood on that table, the one where you lay out the envelopes that feel like heavy stones. I see the light in your kitchen dim as the evening settles, and I hear the silent scream in your chest when you look at the calendar and see the first of the month approaching like a rising tide. You feel small, don't you? You feel like a tiny ship in a vast, indifferent ocean of commerce and contracts. But I am the one who measured the waters in the hollow of my hand. I am the one who knows the name of every star and every sparrow, and I know the exact amount written on that notice. Do you think I am surprised by the inflation of the world? Do you think my resources are tied to the fluctuations of a market I created out of dust? I am the source, and the source never runs dry. Think of the way a child sleeps in the back of a car while their parents navigate the dark, winding roads. The child does not ask about the fuel gauge. They do not worry about the map or the tire pressure. They do not fret over the cost of the journey. They simply sleep because they know the hands on the wheel are capable and loving. You are that child, and I am the driver. The road might be dark and the mountains might seem steep, but I have never lost my way. I am not just your provider, I am your protector. I am whispering to the hearts of those you haven't even met yet. I am moving the hands of clerks and landlords and strangers to align with the plan I have for your peace. You think you are fighting for a place to live, but I am building a place for you to thrive. The struggle you are in is not a sign of my absence. It is the training ground for your faith. When the provision arrives, and it will, I want you to remember that it didn't come from your cleverness or your striving alone. It came from the hand that feeds the ravens. I want your heart to be so anchored in me that whether you have a palace or a tent, you are at peace. Because home is not a zip code. Home is my heartbeat. Do you hear it? It is steady. It is sure. It does not panic when the world trembles. It beats with the rhythm of always and enough. You have been trying to carry the weight of the roof on your own shoulders, bracing yourself as if the sky might fall. Put it down. You were never meant to be the pillar. You are the guest in my creation. Let me be the architecture. There is a specific miracle I am preparing for you, something so precisely timed that you will know, without a shadow of doubt, that I heard your prayer in the middle of the night. It might not look like a lightning bolt from the sky. It might look like a quiet conversation, an unexpected refund, a sudden extension of grace, or a new path opening where there was only a wall before. But it will be mine. And when it comes, I want you to exhale that long-held breath. I want you to look at that bank balance and laugh, not because the numbers are large, but because you finally see how small the problem was compared to the provider. You are learning the language of the kingdom now. In the world, they speak of scarcity, of not enough, of running out. In my house, we speak of overflow, of more than enough, of jars that never go dry. You are transitioning from the world's economy to mine. This friction you feel. It is the sound of your spirit stretching to accommodate a bigger truth. Do not shrink back. Do not let the whispers of the enemy convince you that you are forgotten. He loves to isolate you in your fear, to make you feel like the only one whose prayers are hitting a ceiling of brass. But there is no ceiling between us. I am closer than your next breath. Every tear you shed over that ledger is a seed, and I am the gardener who knows how to turn those tears into a harvest. You are worried about the walls that shelter you, but I am tending to the soul that lives within them. I am protecting you in ways you cannot yet perceive. I have diverted storms you didn't even know were forming. I have softened the hearts of those who were set against you. I am your shield. I am your very great reward. So, tonight, when you lay your head on that pillow, I want you to tell your mind to be still. I want you to tell your imagination to stop painting pictures of disaster. Instead, paint a picture of me. See me standing at the door of your future, holding the keys, smiling because I know the end from the beginning. I am not intimidated by your debt. I am the owner of the cattle on 1,000 hills and the hills themselves. I am the one who turned water into wine and a few loaves into a feast for thousands. Your rent is a crumb on my table. Do not weep over the crumb when the baker is your father. I am deepening your roots today. I am making you strong. I am making you resilient. I am making you a testimony. One day you will tell this story to someone else who is drowning in the same fear you feel now. You will look them in the eyes and say, I was there. I was terrified, but he came through. And your words will be their life raft. This season of lack is your season of preparation. It is the dark soil where the miracle grows. You cannot have the bloom without the burial. You are not being buried, you are being planted. And the sun is coming. Oh, the sun is coming. I am the morning star, and I never fail to rise. Rest now, truly rest. Do not plan your escape in your dreams. Let me handle the strategy. I am the master architect, the divine negotiator. I am your provider. I am your peace. I am your home. We are walking through this valley together, and I promise you, the valley has an exit. You will not dwell here forever. You will dwell in my goodness and mercy all the days of your life. Every bill, every notice, every deadline is just a platform for me to show you who I am. Watch me now. Watch what I do with your not enough. In the stillness of this very room, I am breathing peace into the spaces where your anxiety has built its nests. I see you when you sit at your kitchen table, the glow of your laptop screen illuminating the lines of worry on your forehead as you scan your bank account for a miracle that hasn't appeared in the numbers yet. I see the way your hand trembles slightly when you pick up the mail, fearing the weight of another envelope, another demand, another reminder of what you lack. But I am here to tell you that your balance sheet does not dictate my capacity. My treasury is not filled with paper and ink, but with the very substance of creation. When you look at your not enough. I see the perfect canvas for my more than enough. Do you remember the widow whose jars of oil kept filling until there was no more room to hold the blessing? She started with a single drop and a mountain of debt. I did not send a rain of gold from the sky. I took what she already had and made it obey the laws of my kingdom instead of the laws of the world. I am doing the same for you. I am speaking to the little in your hand right now. I am commanding it to stretch. I am commanding the heart of your landlord, the mind of your banker, and the hands of those who hold the keys to your stability. I am the divine negotiator, and I have already stepped into the rooms you are afraid to enter. I have already spoken your name in circles of influence you haven't even dreamed of. You feel like you are standing on a trapdoor, waiting for the world to fall out from under you, but I am the rock beneath the floorboards. You cannot fall further than my grace can reach. I want you to take a deep breath, the first real breath you have taken in days. Feel the air fill your lungs. I gave you that breath for free. I sustain the beating of your heart without a single invoice. If I can manage the complex machinery of your life, your cells, and the stars in their courses, do you truly believe I will stumble over a monthly payment? This pressure you feel is not the weight of the world crushing you. It is the pressure that turns coal into diamonds. I am refining your faith until it shines. I am teaching you that your security is not in a building, but in a person. Your home is not a set of walls. Your home is me, and I will never evict my own child. I remember every prayer you whispered in the dark when you thought I was silent. I have bottled every tear you shed over those bills. They are not lost, they are seeds, and the harvest is breaking through the soil even now. I am opening doors that have been rusted shut for years. I am bringing unexpected phone calls, sudden rebates, and the kindness of strangers who don't even know why they feel compelled to help you. It is me. It is always me. I am the one who moves the chess pieces of the universe to ensure you are taken care of. Look back at the times you thought you wouldn't make it before. Remember the impossible situations that somehow resolved themselves at the very last second. That wasn't luck. That wasn't a coincidence. That was my hand, invisible but invincible, holding you up. Why do you doubt that I will do it again? I am the same yesterday, today, and forever. My love for you is not dependent on your productivity or your prosperity. I love you in the lean times just as fiercely as I love you in the fat times. In fact, I am closer to you now in this valley than I have ever been. I am the shepherd who leaves the 99 to find the one who is shivering in the cold of financial fear. I have found you. I am wrapping my cloak around you. The warmth you feel starting in your chest right now, that is my presence. That is the assurance that the check will come, the door will open, and the provision will arrive. It may come at the 11th hour, but I am the God of the 11th hour. I am never early, but I am never, ever late. I want you to look at that past due notice and smile. Not because you have the money in your hand yet, but because you know the one who owns the bank. I want you to walk through your home and thank me for every square inch of it, as if the rent is already paid for the next 10 years. This is the frequency of miracles, gratitude before the manifestation. You are not a victim of the economy. You are a citizen of my kingdom, and my kingdom is in a state of eternal surplus. There is no recession in heaven. There is no scarcity in my heart. I am pouring out a spirit of wisdom upon you now. I will show you the path. I will give you the ideas, the energy, and the favor. But most of all, I give you myself. When you lay your head down tonight, I want you to sleep the sleep of the beloved. Do not run the numbers again. Do not stare at the ceiling calculating the what-ifs. I have already calculated the "it is done." I am your shield and your great reward. The walls of your home are guarded by angels you cannot see, and your future is anchored in a promise that cannot be broken. You are safe. You are provided for. You are deeply, passionately loved. This season of not enough is ending, and a season of overflow is beginning. Not just so you can pay your bills, but so you can be the hand of my provision for someone else. I am making you a channel of blessing. Rest now, my child. The morning star is rising, and with it comes everything you need. Trust me, just trust me. I have never failed you, and I am not about to start now. The keys are already turning in the lock. The provision is at the door. Open your heart and let my peace in. Everything is going to be more than all right. It is going to be miraculous.